Hello, welcome back to Erica's Little Welsh Garden. Today we're in the Polytunnel and I thought I'd bring you along while I get on with sorting out this polytunnel. When I did a kind of polytunnel reveal video a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago now, I said that I had these metal raised beds that were really good and I was planning on having one kind of on this side and then one down here and then kind of repeating the same and then putting a bit of wood across and having like a really long raised bed all the way along my polytunnel. And after doing that video, I started work up here and I moved one of the metal raised beds in here and started filling it up. So I did it kind of in this corner and I thought the raised beds were about 80 centimetres wide, which would mean I could have a row down this side, a row down this side, and then like a row of beds in the middle, and it would allow me maybe 30 centimetres in between each of the beds. But when I put the raised bed there and filled it up, I realised it was actually 1 metre. So I had a metre of beds this side, I could have a metre of beds this side, and then I'd have a metre in the middle that would mean my walkway and a bed. So, you know, if I had maybe 30 or 40 centimetres, that would leave a 20 centimetre bed in the middle, which obviously wouldn't really work. So I scrapped that idea and I moved the raised beds outside. At the moment, those metal raised beds are totally redundant, but I am hopefully going to be doing like soft fruit outside in the future and having like a whole area of, you know, perennial things like that and stuff. And where some of the land gets very, very boggy, if I was to put these raised beds on top of that and fill it up, then that would give a really good use of space and stuff. So I'm not going to throw them out or anything, and I'm not using them at the moment, but they will come into practice maybe sometime in the autumn when things start dying back and stuff. But I then, after moving them out of the way, I did kind of feel like I'd wasted a bit of time. But sometimes I feel that you know, you can have an idea in mind, but until you put it into practice, you don't necessarily know what it's going to look like, and you kind of have to go through that process. I've learned, you know, learning by experience. So at the moment now, I then spent maybe another couple of hours up here, and you can see that I've got a bed now down this side. I've also started making a bed down this side, and I have lots of cardboard in the very middle. And I don't know actually if you can see that right at the entrance to the polytunnel, I have some wood chip, and I've started putting wood chip up either side. So the plan is that I'm going to have 2 pathways. So one here, and I've got like my entrance area, and then I have another pathway all the way along here. So that is the plan, and in the middle, which is also covered with cardboard at the moment, that is going to be a bed. Now, I had plans when I bought this polytunnel back in January in my head that I was maybe going to be putting my tomatoes in here at the very end of April, beginning of May, which is today. It's 11 degrees in my greenhouse down by the house, and I have no idea what the temperature is in here, but there is absolutely no way, as you can see, that I am going to be putting any tomatoes in here anytime soon. But what I am really pleased and thankful about is every single bit of compost up here and cardboard and wood chip hasn't actually cost me any money at all. Where the camera is now behind me, we've got the bit at the very back of the polytunnel. It's maybe, I don't know, 6 metres square or something. There's not a lot going on here at the moment, and I've not got enough cardboard to actually kind of cover that area. But a friend of mine, they have a kind of like eBay business, and they buy pallets and stuff, and they always have loads of cardboard that I can have, which is amazing. So I'm not going to worry too much like about this end bit today. But I have 2 Dalek compost bins that I haven't emptied in about a year. So what I'm thinking today is that we can go and empty that bin, or empty both of those Dalek bins. I can then move them and put all of the non-composted stuff back in one of them, and then we can use all of that nice rotted down compost to put in the middle. And then kind of this whole section should be pretty much done. Now, underneath the soil here, we've got a really kind of heavy clay soil, which obviously is full of so many nutrients, is absolutely amazing, but it can get a little bit waterlogged. So I'm not sure how well crops are going to do this year. Well, the cardboard's breaking down and the compost is like amalgamating with the topsoil underneath. But I definitely think kind of salad and well, I'm going to just try it and see what, you know, how it goes and stuff. Also, I picked up a grapevine. I've wanted a grapevine for ages, but I don't really understand how to grow them, or I've not really learned how to grow them, so I've never got one before. But I picked up this this one here called Boz Coop Glory. It was from one of those kind of cheapish shops, and yeah, I think I'm going to put it in the greenhouse, but sorry, I'm going to put it in the polytunnel and possibly down this corner here where I haven't worked out what's going to go there. But I do need to kind of work out how it best grows. This one apparently is okay to grow outside, so I'm thinking, well, is it going to grow well inside? But you know, I'm not really sure. I'm guessing it will though. If it's good at growing outside, it's going to love being inside more. And also, this isn't seedless, but apparently the pips are pretty small. So at the time, I thought this was seedless when I bought it, because to be honest, I'm not really a fan of pips, and I know the kids will be complaining about that. But yes, I'm really excited with that. So I'm thinking of putting it in this kind of corner here. And if you have any tips or anything like that, please let me know, because I'm definitely open to learning all about them. So yes, anyway, enough of me talking. Let's go over to the compost heaps and have a look and see what compost we've got, so we can then get working on this area. So this is where I have two of my Dalek composters at the moment, and this kind of area, just so you can get your bearings, is in between my formal garden down there where I have my greenhouse. And I say formal garden, one day it will be my formal garden when it's restored. And then up here we have got the woodland with the polytunnel. So this is just like a really shady area that we put stuff in when we first moved in, and it's kind of starting to be a bit of a working area because we've got the shed just there as well, and this is where I do my wood chips and stuff. So I just put these two composters here when I got them, actually probably a couple of years ago. I've not harvested any compost from them for about a year now. So this one here was the one that I always used for all of my chicken bedding and stuff when I had chickens, but possibly all of that has now been kind of harvested from it last year. So no idea what state these are going to be in, but what my plan is, just lift both of them off and then move one to kind of its new location, and then all of the stuff that hasn't like composted down at the very top will get put in that one. Then I'll have an empty one to start filling. That's the plan, but I am a bit lazy when it comes to composting stuff, so there's probably like quite a lot of large twigs in there as well. So let's go and have a look. So the first one is done, and as you can see, actually there's still quite a lot of stuff that hasn't composted down. I've got these apples here that came off this tree here maybe in the autumn, and as you can see, yeah, I should have turned this a bit more. Let's have a look in the other one. Looking at both of the mounds, you can see at the very bottom there is a good amount of compost that is ready to be used, but also there's quite a lot that hasn't composted down, and the reason for this is just because I haven't really looked after them very well. Any type of compost heap does need like to be aerated so it helps it break down and stuff, but these both haven't really had that. So unfortunately I am going to be able to get a nice bit of compost from these, but there's also quite a lot of mess. So I've definitely learned a lesson here, but I'm not going to worry too much. We'll just get on with this now and get the middle bed in my polytunnel done. look at this, all those little worms, sign of a healthy compost bin, that is. So I've got my 2 mounds ready now, this one here and this one here. The one on this side is actually a lot older. The chicken bedding was when I first had the chickens, so I've not had them for over a year now, but that one is definitely much more rotted down, whereas the one here, I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit more orangey, and that's the sawdust that hasn't broken down as much. Obviously, the sawdust is wood, you know, it takes the longest time to actually break down, and where it hasn't had any airflow in there, it's really slowed that bacteria down. But what I'm going to do is just get them put into my green bags now. We'll move them up into the polytunnel and spread it out, and then if there's any really kind of big bits of the sawdust that hasn't broken down, I'll just put it in the compost heap. Well, I'm so happy. I've managed to bring up 6 bags of compost for the middle, and I've probably got enough compost down there by the heaps for another kind of 4 or 5 bags. So I'm so pleased. What I think I'm going to do now, once I've kind of spread this out and put the pathways in, I think I'm going to use the rest of the compost to work on this area here. This area hasn't got any compost on at the moment, so if I can get this done by the end of the day, I think I'll have all of these 3 beds kind of ready to go. Obviously there's not going to be 6 inches of compost on top of that cardboard, but I think it will be in a really good position to start kind of making that cardboard moist and start getting ready to be able to grow in. I am so pleased with how good it's looking in here now. Just a couple of hours work and I've got my 3 beds set out. The middle bed at the moment is still a little bit wonky, but I'm pretty happy with it. Another reason that I decided to go with like flat beds rather than my raised beds that I thought of in the beginning, and that is because I am going to have to think about an irrigation system for in here at some stage. And if all of my beds are on the ground, you can get like soaker hoses that go in the bed, and you can literally just have them on a timer, turn them on, and they do everything for you. Because having my garden all the way up here, my greenhouse, my allotments, my front garden, everything going on, I don't necessarily have the time to be, you know, watering all the time, so it definitely will really help me. I've got a plan for a irrigation system that I can use with rainwater as well, because we've got a spring here that kind of filters through an old bathtub. So during the kind of rainy times and over winter and stuff, I can actually use a pond pump and fill up probably 1,000 litre IBCs throughout the year. So I can actually use this as just completely fed by rainwater and stuff, so that will be absolutely amazing. But I am so pleased with how it's looking at the moment. There's still some work to be done on the beds, building the soil a little bit more, because this bed in the middle is actually quite shallow. I've still got grass down here and cardboard down here, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about trying to like rush everything, because, you know, I've got this bit going already, so I am so excited and so pleased. Let me know if you have any tips for your polytunnel, or for my polytunnel actually, because I'd be really interested to hear. I really hope you've enjoyed watching today's video, and if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As ever, YouTube have some videos up now on this screen that they think you'll like, so go ahead and watch those, and I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!